life. Personal finance lesson number 2 is to track 3 numbers. I like to call them the big 3, and those 3 numbers are your expenses, your savings rate, as well as your net worth. I find that if you're able to track these 3 numbers and make improvements to them over time, your personal financial position will just get better and better, and there's no doubt in my mind that you will become financially free. When it comes to your expenses, the first thing you want to track are your fixed expenses, so things like your transportation, your housing, your utilities, and healthcare insurance, etc. And you want to make sure that as a percentage of your income, it's not making up more than 50 to 60%. If they are larger than 60% of your income, that's when things get a little bit dicey, and you might not have enough money in your other parts of your budget for things like discretionary expenses or even savings and investments. When it comes to discretionary expenses, I like to keep my personal expenses in check, so I do that by tracking everything that I spend, and then I just have frequent check-ins throughout the month. Let's say your target spend per month is $1,500 in discretionary expenses. Then what you can do is just have a check-in, let's say on the 15th of the month, so halfway through the month. Your discretionary expenses should be around $750. Now, if you are ahead of that, so let's say you've spent $800 or maybe even $900 by the 15th day, you know that you need to cut back a little bit for the rest of the month. When it comes to tracking your personal savings rate percentage, I would try to aim for a percentage of savings of your income of around 10% and then slowly try to ramp it up from there. Ideally, if you're tracking your savings rate, you have more of an eye on it at all times. You're more aware of it, and hopefully it's going up over time, because as your savings rate increases, that means you're going to have more money for activities such as investing.
Look at all this floor space.
So
You
much,
do aerobics in here.
so many activities.
Do step class.
It's making my head spin how many activities we can do.
Now, speaking of net worth, this is the last number that I like to track, and the whole idea of tracking it is mostly for peace of mind. I think it's a wonderful thing to track because it'll give you perspective on your financial life, and so sometimes I'll even look back to my expense tracker from, say, 2021 or 2020 and just see how much my net worth has grown over the years. If you'd like a link to my own net worth tracker, I actually made one a couple years ago and I made it completely free, so I will leave a link to that